I actually also prefer standing up, so thank you, Helen, for not making me the only one to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, there is one thing common in all countries of the world. None of them is fully using women's potential. And societies and companies are losing so much because of this. Most companies are not in the business of equality. They're in the business of making money. But the fact is that if you don't have a full talent pool, if you only have a male talent pool for the decision-making positions, you're not going to make so much money if you don't hire always the best persons, if you only hire the best men for the high positions. That is the idea behind the Women Leaders program of the Finland Chamber of Commerce. Actually, our board has set the target of promoting women business leaders, a strategic goal of the Finland Chamber of Commerce, through self-regulation, meaning not through quotas. And actually, it is not only Finland Chamber of Commerce that is putting emphasis on this, it is very much on the global agenda, which is witnessed by the fact that our Women Leaders program won the, let's say, the World Championships of Chambers of Commerce, the best corporate social responsibility project 2015 in Torino. And what is our program? What are we doing to make it happen that there are no quotas, but there are women on the top? Our program consists, first of all, of studies. You need to have the facts. You need to have data. It's not enough that I say my opinion to the media. It's not interesting. But the media is interested in facts, and you need the media to make the difference. They need to tell about the facts. Are there enough women? Is there increasing number of women, or the contrary? Actually, some countries, the media is not yet interested in this, but maybe I might be able to persuade different parties of you to provide studies for the media, to provide data, provide interesting information to make the difference. Because the fact is that companies might not get interested unless the media is interested, sometimes even naming and shaming companies with only male leadership bodies. So annually we publish a Women Leaders study covering all listed companies in Finland, board level, CEO level, and executive team level. We're currently working on the 7th report to be published within a couple of weeks. I brought a few copies of the latest report, so if anybody interested, there's also international comparisons there. I have a few copies with me. Of course, based on the data, we give even interviews, write articles, give speeches, whatever. But then another very concrete thing that we're doing, we have a mentoring program for women business leaders. Everybody knows what mentoring is all about. Our mentors are really top level, let's say household names basically in Finland. It's a 1.5-year program, but not just the mentoring. Equally important is the program part, the networking part. When we have 40 women leaders in one program for 1.5 years, they get to know other ambitious women through all the business sectors of the country, as well as many of the mentors, because we organize seminars, side events, meetings with headhunters, sometimes something fun like going to the opera, when the opera CEO also tells about the women leadership in the opera house, etc., etc. And is the mentoring helpful? Because we are now having applications for the fourth program. So we have been able to study the previous programs. That does it make a difference to have mentoring? 2-year after study survey conducted among the mentees. And yes, it does make a difference. 3/4 are saying that it has helped with their career path. Almost everybody says that widened their network, had concrete impact on their career. That's what definitely the majority is saying. And we're seeing many of them reaching even board positions already. The first one was started in 2012, so it's not that many years. So I would encourage everybody to think of a mentoring program, not just peer mentoring, but have a structure around it so that the benefit of networking is found. One thing that we're also doing in Finland Chamber of Commerce, we are an active party of making the corporate governance code for listed companies. Some of you might not be so much aware of what the corporate governance code is, but it is a set of recommendations that the listed companies must comply with, and if not, make a public explanation why they're not complying with it. In 2008, we set a recommendation saying that all listed companies shall have both genders on the board. At that time, only half of the Finnish listed companies had mixed gender structure on their boards. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very difficult for a large company to say that they were not able to find a suitable woman for their board in the whole world, because the talent pool for a large company for the board level positions is the whole world. So this has meant that when we said that if you don't do it, you have to give a public explanation, none of the large caps ever gave an explanation because they did go and find the women. And now only, let's say, 9 small companies have an all-male board. All the medium-sized, all the large ones on the stock exchange have mixed gender, and the large caps have 33% women directors without quotas. So it is fully possible to make things happen, but the change does not happen by itself. But if we look deeper into the situation, it might look at, okay, if something doesn't happen in a country, let's legislate quotas. But does it help? It helps with the board level, of course, if you have sanctioned quotas, but it does nothing for the level below. And the countries with quotas have unfortunately been able to see that nothing changed beneath it. The fact is that boards are only the tip of the iceberg. Executive level women, that's where you should look into to find the real truth about the number of women in high positions. How many CEOs are there? Finnish listed companies, 7% at the moment. Globally listed companies, about 5%. That is the real situation. Executive level in Finland, executive team, that is the level right below the CEO. That is 20% in Finland, Germany 6%, etc., something like that. So that is where the real thing is. And more specifically, leadership of business operations, line management. Most women leaders are in support functions. They are great functions, HR like Helen. It's a great function, but I don't anticipate Helen to become CEO of Google after HR positions. So you need to have the line management experience to become CEO. And if we look at the line management positions, business leadership positions in the Finnish listed companies, it's only 10% women there. So it's easier to make a change on the board level than to the real situation. And unfortunately, women are not studying technology enough, considering how fast the pace of change is, innovations to be done. So what we have also done to make a difference is we have published our little brochure. I have also those on the table. There are 20 ways to promote women business leaders, telling the society, for example, that girls should be encouraged to study engineering. Employers told that board level should take a target, diversity targets, and have a C-suite person in charge who is responsible for reaching the target. If you lead diversity to middle management, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. They have so much work to fulfill their targets, and change only happens if it comes as a tone from the top. For the women themselves, we are telling also a lot. As was mentioned earlier, women are often very critical. Household duties are still also in the Nordic countries more a women's issue than male issue. The thing is that it seems to me that the employers are not so much afraid of losing their capable women. They offer the promotions, trainings to the males. Women really should take, let's say, more courage to ask for promotions, to ask for diversified, skilled. Even my own experience is that, okay, if you're really good at one job, the boss doesn't want to give you to other departments. And if you don't think of ways of changing that, change might not happen. We should not be too nice. We have seen where that leads to. So we are there to make a difference, but on companies' terms, not through legislation. I hope that we will be able to, in the forthcoming discussion, to share a little bit more what we are doing, and through the role models that we have also in the Finnish system is something that we have been able to make the change happen. The media portraying women on their pages. So. That was what I had initially to tell you, and let's see where the discussion leads us to. Thank you.
Thank you, Leena.